Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
Anyway, we were just sitting here around the barn talking about how this barn, it's an old barn. Everybody can see that it's an old barn.
Yep.
But we've never really talked about like what's going to happen in the future, like next year. And
Yeah,
so
what
we're
is
just
gonna
talking.
happen?
What is going to happen is right. Well, first
curious.
of all, there's going to be a lot more hay this coming next year because the
Right.
pines, we only got a few bales off it because it was new hay, so we just chopped it down and let it go. But there's going to be a lot more hay coming in.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things. But on that note, what would you like to do next year as far as tractor work? I mean, what would you see yourself doing?
As far as tractor work,
Yeah. I mean, really?
I mean, it depends on what tractor I have next year, too. Because that would really matter
Yeah.
on what to do. Because, I mean, this year now we've got the Johnny and then you Mason. So,
Well, on the 706. but-
and the 706. But
Well, my plans, and I've talked about this with you as far as that goes, is I might have to trade that John Deere in.
trade
750.
in,
Get a 1526.
just
Nancy
like the one you
Ferguson.
had before, right?
Yeah,
You had 1526.
yeah. And, there you are.
Peekaboo, guys.
Anyway, because the John Deere is a nice tractor. We've talked about it. I've done videos on it.
Right.
But it doesn't have power steering.
No.
And it doesn't have a bucket. And the bucket, believe it or not, on farms is like a third hand, right?
Literally, it's,
Yeah, on this farm.
a bucket is literally your third hand. Like, because
Because it can really make a difference.
you need two to drive.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm saying is it picks up things that you normally couldn't carry.
Yes.
And it can be that tractor that can go out and pick up round bales while I'm baling, for
Right,
example.
because, we did talk about we may do a lot of round baling next year.
Yeah, a lot more round
A
baling.
lot more
Yeah.
than what we did this year.
So that's a big thing right there.
It is, and if you do trade the 750 in to get another 1726, I said it wrong.
But it's 1526.
1526.
It
Something
doesn't have
of
to be
that
that,
nature.
but it's going to be something like that.
Yeah, something
But with a
like that.
bucket.
Next year I
makes a
better
huge
have
difference.
a bucket and power steering.
Yeah. And then you could do more work out in the field.
I could.
He actually did a lot more than you think with that tractor this year.
Yeah.
This year, raked a lot of hay, pulled a lot of hay back here.
I've pulled a lot of wagons in my
But
time.
that tractor would just be a little bit more in horsepower. This one would probably be a hydrostrat, so it'd probably function well for him. It would be well functioning for around the barn for cleaning.
Oh yes.
With a instead of gears, it would be hydrostat.
Yeah.
The pedals.
That would actually kind of help me out a little bit
yeah.
in cleaning
Yeah.
instead of having the gears. But don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, the gears are great.
Well, they're good for me.
Yeah.
They're good for me
you.
because I'm going a long distance and cutting hay,
Yes.
and
And you don't
They-
want to keep your foot on the
no,
gas the
it's
whole
just
time.
gears make a big difference when you're in the field. But around the
agree.
barn,
Hydrostat
hydrostat.
would be the way to go.
but with Jack, of course, the hydrostat has cruise control. So if he is raking hay, he wants to keep it at a certain speed, just move the lever to where he wants it to be and take his foot off the pedal. There you go, because it has cruise control.
Yep.
But
I agree.
it would make a difference. That's one of the things we're looking at. We're not going to go with, like the big farms with a big tractor power. It's pretty much around here is what we've done a lot of work with these smaller. You can do a lot of work.
Yes, I can.
You really can. It's just a difference in.
I mean, I've done a lot of work this year, but next year it's gonna be
yeah, there's gonna be more,
crazy.
and there's gonna be more cattle here, and there's gonna be more goats.
More
and-
land, hopefully.
We have a lot. Well, we have about 40 acres of hay right here, and then there's another 10 over there.
On Ibert Road.
Yeah, and that's another
There's
10. So
another
it's 50. Then we want to take more land back soon, so we can have more. So we're growing in that capacity, but if you look at what we've done with these tractors, you can do a lot with smaller equipment. You don't have to have. I'm not saying if you have a 500 or 1,000 acre farm, you've got to have some big tractors.
Yes.
I get that. But with ours, we can do a lot.
Yeah, and then the compact tractors,
Yeah,
that's all we're doing.
they're compact tractors and they do a lot of work.
Yes, compact tractors do 98% of the work
Yeah, around here.
around this farm.
And then, you know, we have these old barns, and this is probably the barn you're looking at is probably going to be more goats, and then we'll have a nursery probably for sick animals.
Right here would be the nursery most likely. And then
We can have a lot more space because we're going to utilize that 120 foot long building next year for cows and hay. And we're going to have a horse barn, which brings into play our lovely Courtney over here. Well, she has more to do with horses than most of us, and Mary Ellen does too. And you've seen Courtney on film and here around here, but I want to know what your thoughts are, you know, on horses and what you expect, you know, to what you'd like to do around here. You know, you're not going to be out in the fields mostly. You know, I get that. You might help with some hay here. I don't know. But you are probably going to be doing these animals more. So what do you want to see here? Like in watering systems and how it's done.
like anything to
That would help you. And now here, you can't see, but there's that barn I've showed you before. That's going to actually be the horse barn. So it's going to be more just, there'll be a lot. That's how we want to do it anyway. I don't know how many horses we have. 2 right now that we have, but we could have more, maybe 2 or 3. I don't know. But what do you want? You know, I mean, it makes a difference. You know, because I don't know what's in your mind.
I don't know either.
You know, like what would help you, or what would you want to see done, and that kind of thing.
Well, for feeding, the wooden troughs like Smokey has, it would be easier to feed.
Use them
Yeah,
for feed.
yeah. It would be easier to feed that, and they're easy to replace if we have to.
So like those tubs,
Yeah.
she's talking about a 55-gallon drum, and we cut it right in half, and then you just have the both ends. Of course, the one has to have the top.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily if you're going to have it so much for hay. I mean, it doesn't have to have the screw parts in it.
Right. If you're just gonna throw hay into it,
It's fine.
it's fine
For
with
more
no
like
cap.
their grain and all that.
Yeah.
It would be easier to do grain.
So and is that just for the horses, or is that you want to see for these goats, or what?
We can do it for the goats too. It might even be easier for the babies as they're going up. Putting chops and stuff in there for the times.
You remember that, George? You and I were actually, she reminded me of troughs, because I remember the conversation you and I had about troughs. Because we were trying to figure out ways to,
I mean,
For-
like even
for hay or grain or
the one
whatever.
that we have in there.
Hang
No.
on a minute. Let me bring these folks along. We'll look at it, okay? Hang on. All right, so. Like, you're talking about this kind.
Like these a little bit bigger. I mean, this will be for depending on what would be going.
But they would have to be, bigger.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger because we're gonna have more goats and all the goats here. They don't all fit in.
Yeah, that would work, right? That'd work, Jack.
I agree. I mean,
I think so.
I 100% agree.
So just build them in each one of these stalls,
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yep.
And then we could do that. What about the ones that we change a lot? See what I mean? Would you want them just to be a box that we, because some of them we might have to change.
Yeah, because like that one, they don't always like sticking their heads out of the.
And she's talking about this one here. But if we remove these pegs, they could probably get out. But this is a feeder I built for a long time ago. But there was small goats in here. Now they can stick their heads in here.
I mean, with them being bigger goats, they might not be able to get out because of this board right here.
Yeah, maybe.
But make it more into an actual box. Like put more sidings on it and finish it up as an actual box.
Okay.
And then we can only take a couple of these. We'll only take a couple of these.
I get what you're
prongs
saying
out.
now. Just finish it off.
Yeah.
So that has sides,
I was just gonna say
Guys,
that.
with
and then they can't actually squeeze themselves out of here if there was.
this one right here, he doesn't like to really stick his head.
No,
in
he
it.
doesn't. He doesn't like to do it.
If you see it, you only see just his nose in it. He doesn't like sticking his head in here.
Yeah.
And I've seen it with Legend too.
All right, so let's okay. So these could have, like, we've built feeder boxes in these ones here, and they work really nice. These baskets, they were actually potato baskets, but you can see these ones here, these feeder boxes, they work well.
They should be just a little bit
Yeah,
wider.
they probably should be a little bit wider, but
Because you can't put a lot of grain in it, and with
And they're
three
too
heads
small.
going in it, it
Yeah.
doesn't fit. Because like this one right here, it's too small. It's just too small.
yeah, it
and
is too
same
small.
with this one over here. It's
Then
too small.
these have to be expanded. You're
Yeah.
saying just the wider.
See,
And maybe this one. Maybe we should take this basket off. And then make it longer even and wider.
yeah, that would probably work.
And then because we don't like these baskets, they you could see they're
We
broken
like
already.
that hay feeder better.
Yeah,
Well,
that
that's
hay feeder
another
over
thing.
there, if you guys can see that. I built that, I don't know, years ago. It's been there ever since, and it's
they like
held
it-
held well.
They like it better than the boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, the boxes work for now, but they're breaking the boxes, so.
it would be nice if we can build those feeder boxes. You know, what's in the pen right over you, and put it in all of these new ones that we built.
And then eventually this will have a door. But
You know, get
it's only a
rid of
temporary pen.
the boxes and switch it to those.
Yeah, like that feeder
Like
for
that
hay.
feeder for hay.
Yeah,
Just
and then have
Oh,
these
those.
for just the grains that we feed.
Yep.
yes.
These kind of these ones here. Yeah.
And just make these
Well, what about?
longer and wider.
But what about like out here, where it's an open pen? Do we, just have like those tubs then? Because, you know what I mean, for grain? Because what if we want to change it up out there? That seems to be the
Yeah.
optimum.
I mean, if we
optimal
use
thing
the
for
tubs
changing.
along the line, we could
I agree.
change it if we use the tubs.
Yeah.
And then, because we never know how many goats are going to be out there then, because that's where all the
Yeah.
boy goats are really going to go, and the girls that,
So use tubs there.
yeah. And then for all these guys, we use the wooden chops.
Yeah. The
and
more
all
the,
that.
the pens in here, and out there it's just kind of portable stuff. You're
Yeah.
saying, yeah, that would work, right?
Mhm.
So, you see, these are the things. But we get that. I know
Yes,
what
we
Jack
do.
really wants to do next year. I really do. I mean, he wants to get on more equipment. But what about you? What do you want to do? I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, what do you want to do? I mean, what do you want to see? I'm not saying you're going to be here forever anyway. Everybody, this is Courtney, and, everybody knows Jack. But, I mean, do you want to just more be with the animals? That's what your thing is.
The animals, and most likely a lot during next year. I'm probably going to be in the garden that
Yeah.
we're making.
We're making a big garden down that way. Down, you can see it through the cobwebs. But yeah, we have a big. It's almost an acre, and it's a lot. So we want to do that. So that's true. I'm happy you said that. But I want her to be, in my mind, and this is me now. I want her to get really involved in these animals, to take care of them, and that's why I'm asking her now. What would make it easier for her? Because if we're out in the fields and then she's here, trying to feed, and then this isn't working and that's not working, I want to, so she understands, hey, this is what I'm doing now, this is how it works, and it works for me. And that's how I have to have it. So this is why we're having this video. What were you going to say?
Not only that, I will be helping Mary a lot in the stands and
Yeah.
raising all the runts that we have, and because that one right there, he was a runt, and he's twice the size if he was before, so
Yeah.
he's getting there. And that's what I started doing, is doing all the want babies that.
And there'll be a lot this spring. That's why we put these girls in here with Pistol, wherever he went. He's over
right
there.
here.
Right here.
But we just put these 3 girls in here this morning, just in the hopes that he will
Do his job.
do his job. Because everybody else is bred.
Besides those 3, and we're not putting our hopes up on the one over there in the far corner, but the other 2 we are. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully she'll be bred this year, but we're not gonna put our hopes up on her.
So anyway, this video is just really about, we decided we wanted you really to understand what we do here and who these guys are. You know, Courtney and Jack and what they do. They do a lot for me here, and I hope they do more. So anyway, everybody, let's just say bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, let's see you. I'll try to get this video up. I'm also having a little trouble with these things right now, so I'm trying to figure it out. But we'll catch up with you.